Good afternoon. George Habel reporting state news on the Virginia Network. The Old Dominion senior senator Harry Byrd took to the floor of the upper house today opposing U.S. nuclear aid to India.
I'm greatly concerned as to the spread of nuclear material which can be used to make nuclear weapons. I'm particularly concerned about India. India already has exploded a nuclear device. India has become a dictatorship, and India has refused to sign the treaty which prevents the spread of nuclear material. I think it'd be unwise for our government to supply nuclear material to India, and I shall oppose it.
Those tape comments supplied by Byrd's office. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission is considering whether or not to allow India access to further American nuclear technology and materials. The Senate, meanwhile, has approved legislation proposed by Byrd which would penalize U.S. companies that bribe foreign officials. But for an illegal payment to be detected, the company would have to first report it to the federal government. The two men attempting to unseat Byrd this fall are in the news today. Stories after this network message.
As everyone knows, 1976 is our bicentennial year. Now you can have a treasury of musical hits featuring some of the most moving songs in our country's history. For example, you can have Anita Bryant singing "This Is My Country," or Robert Goulet's rendition of our national anthem. Also, one of the great musical classics of American history, Kate Smith singing "God Bless America." You can have these great songs and more in the album America Sings. You can get this moving album by sending $2.98 for the album or $3.98 for 8-track tape to America Sings, Post Office Box 215, Charlottesville, Virginia 22902. That address again, America Sings, Post Office Box 215, Charlottesville, Virginia 22902. These records are by CBS Records and are official bicentennial mementos, so order yours today.
Newsnet has learned that a candidate for Harry Byrd's U.S. Senate seat lost a good many campaign staffers last week after workers became disillusioned with the way he handled his campaign. Ed Swindler reports.
Independent senatorial candidate Martin Perper lost most of his salaried campaign staff last week. 8 members of his campaign organization resigned, including his acting state coordinator. Most of the staffers apparently resigned following a meeting at Perper's Washington, D.C. house, citing dissatisfaction with the way Perper ran his campaign. 4 of the former staffers reportedly had planned to work for at least another month. 4 others said they had originally planned to continue until the November election. Perper had maintained in Charlottesville Monday that only 4 of his staff had resigned. Earlier, he said that some of his college workers had quit and that he had made what he called 2 other staff changes. Perper said the resignations were not pertinent to the campaign, adding they occur in every campaign. He attributed some of the resignations to an exhausting statewide tour, though at least 4 of the former staffers had not been a part of that tour. The resignations reportedly left Perper with a paid staff of only about 3 persons last week, though replacements have been hired. I'm Ed Swindler reporting.
Democratic Senate candidate Elmo Zumwalt has called the U.S. Senate's Democratic Campaign Committee a group of tired old men. That organization gave Zumwalt $5,000, but also contributed $5,000 to the re-election campaign of independent Harry Byrd. Steps were initiated today to oust State Senator Herbert Bateman of Newport News. As chairman of the Senate Agriculture Committee, Susan Garrett reports.
The Senate Democratic Caucus voted to strip Bateman of his committee chairmanship on a motion from Kinbridge State Senator James Edmonds.
I would like to move that the position of chairman of the Agricultural Conservation and Natural Resources Committee be declared vacant by virtue of Rule 20A of the Rules of the Senate.
That rule provides the chairman come from the majority party. The ultimate power to strip Bateman of his chairmanship rests with the full Senate when it convenes in January, but since Democrats outnumber Republicans in the chamber by 34-6, action taken by the caucus of the majority party is almost certain to be approved. Bateman, a member of the state Senate since 1968, announced in May he was leaving the Democratic ranks to turn Republican. Almost immediately thereafter, he unsuccessfully sought the GOP congressional nomination in the 1st District. A replacement for the committee chairmanship is expected to be named by the Senate Steering Committee before January. Halifax State Senator Howard Anderson is reportedly considered the Democrats' first choice. Susan Garrett reporting.
And I'm George Hable reporting state news on the Virginia Network.
NewsNet originates at WINA, Charlottesville, Virginia.